What's up, everyone? You're here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here once again. This time for your free picks for Sunday, February 18th. Well, guys, after a busy Saturday, we have another great day full of great soccer games. Not as busy as the Saturday was, but still a decent amount of free picks for you in this video. And of course, another parlay of the day at the end of it. So stay tuned for that, guys. On Saturday, we lost the parlay by only one leg. We had Juventus to win against Verona on the road. They ended up getting a draw in that one, 2-2. They were losing twice. They couldn't score a third goal to get a win, and that was unfortunately the only loss we had in that parlay. Hopefully, some of you maybe took a double chance to Juventus or something else that gave you a win. And on that, that's good job. I was probably a little bit greedy with Juventus, but I felt like that they will get a win and they will bounce back, but it did not happen. In this video, guys, I have a few very juiced picks at minus 160 or so, and that's not something I do. It's not something I like to do, but I just feel like I have to be a little bit careful on Sunday with some teams playing in Europe next week, some teams being a little bit sketchy when playing on the road and stuff like that. If you don't like those, of course, feel free to pass them up, skip them, and pick something else. And as far as my best bets go, you can click the link in the description. That will get you up to my page where you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass, which will get you covered for the next 30 days from the moment of your purchase. My premium picks actually did pretty well on Saturday. We made a bunch of profit, we made some nice money, and let's do the same on Sunday as well. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Like I said, it's not going to be as busy as Saturday, but we still have a decent amount of free picks. And as we usually do, we are going to kick it off with the EPL, where we have Sheffield hosting Brighton. And this is going to be one of the picks that's going to be a bit juiced. I'm going to take Brighton on the money line here, quite simple. I know that Sheffield is desperate for points, and each of their last 7 games have gone over 2.5. They are coming off of a 3-1 win against Luton Town, but they haven't won a game at home in a long time. While Brighton on the other side has been a bit sketchy when playing on the road, and they're coming off of a 2-1 loss to Tottenham. Before that, they lost 4-0 to Luton Town. Uh, but before that, they have beaten Sheffield 5-2 on the road in the FA Cup. Now, I think that Brighton definitely deserves to be the favorites that they are. Their form has been and much more consistent than the one Sheffield was in. But like I said, I feel like I have to be careful here, and that is the only reason why I'm taking simply Brighton on the money line instead of taking Brighton and goals and stuff like that. So Sheffield versus Brighton, I'm gonna take Brighton on the money line. For our next matchup, guys, we have Luton Town hosting Manchester United. And I'm gonna keep this one very simple as well. Sure, Luton Town has been playing very good football as of late. They even had few wins in a row. Lost only one of their last 6 games, but that game they lost last weekend was against Sheffield at home. And now they have to face Manchester United, the team that's on a 4-game winning streak, the team that's undefeated in their last 6 games, and the team that's finally showing some signs of life in that attacking end. And their defense has actually been a lot more solid than it used to be for the rest of the season so far. So to keep it simple, guys, I'm simply going to take Manchester United on the money line, and the price is at minus 125. For our next games, guys, we're going to move to Spanish La Liga, where we have Rayo Vallecano hosting Atletico Madrid. Not Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. I apologize, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. Rayo Vallecano hasn't beaten anyone in their last 6 games. As a matter of fact, they have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and they are actually coming off of a loss against Mallorca. They lost to Sevilla at home. They lost to Atletico Madrid on the road, and they simply cannot defend right now. Real Madrid is coming off of a win in the Champions League, 1-0 against Leipzig. It was a very good win for them. It was something they needed, considering they were missing a bunch of players in that game. But all the replacements that were in did a good job, and Brahim Diaz once again scored a great goal, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the starting lineup here once again. So uh, to keep it simple, guys, no, the price on Real Madrid is not plus 154, it's minus 154. And with that in mind, guys, I'm going to take Real Madrid on the money line at minus 161. Mallorca is hosting Real Sociedad, who was also playing in the Champions League earlier this week, and they ended up losing to PSG 2-0. While before that, they lost to Osasuna 1-0 at home, and it looks like that their defense is starting to leak slowly. That's because due uh, all the injuries they have, the lack of depth and stuff like that, which was expected in my opinion, especially in the Champions League. And this is actually a golden opportunity for Mallorca to do something in this game. Mallorca has been quite solid as of late. They're coming off of a win against Rayo Vallecano 2-1. They are scoring goals, they are defending better, and with that in mind, I'm gonna take Mallorca on the double chance as one pick, and I'm also gonna take Mallorca to score in this game at minus 161. So even if they don't win this game, even if they lose, as long as they score a goal, we are gonna get a win. But like I said, I feel like that Mallorca could do something in this game, and I think that the least they are gonna get is gonna be the draw. Real Betis is looking for a win against Alaves, and at this price, I honestly think that they will got it. I'm gonna take Betis on the money line, even though they were playing in the Conference League against Dinamo Zagreb last week, actually on Thursday, and they ended up losing that game 1-0. But they're playing the second leg next Thursday as well, and they need to get back on the winning track before that game. They did not create a lot of chances against Dinamo Zagreb. They did not play all that well, and I think that this game, if they win this one, I think that they might actually do enough on the road in the Conference League to advance to the next stage. So I see Betis trying to step up in this game, and I think they will. Despite Deportivo Alaves' good form as of late, I think that Betis will come out on top in this one. So I'm going to take Betis on the money line at plus 110. In German Bundesliga, guys, we have a couple of games, and we have Freiburg playing against Eintracht. Freiburg, who hasn't scored a goal in their last two games, they're coming off of a nil-nil draw against Lens in the Europa League, while Eintracht Frankfurt got a 2-2 draw against Union Saint-Gilloise, the team from Belgium in the Conference League 2-2, and it looks like their defense is slipping up as well. Now, the good news for Eintracht is the fact that Freiburg has a ton of injured players, and they really can't afford any more injuries at this point if they want to have a shot at that Europa League game. But the good news for them is that they are playing at home in that game next week, so they will get plenty of rest. There will be no travel time for them, and with that in mind, I think that they're due for a nice performance. Now, can they keep a clean sheet against Eintracht, who has been scoring goals consistently? I don't think so. And with that in mind, both teams to score at minus 133. That's going to be my pick for this one. The second game is between Bochum and Bayern, and honestly, I don't know what to think about this one. Bayern Munich lost another game, this time to Lazio in the Champions League. This is their second loss in a row. Not only it's a second loss, it's a loss where they haven't scored a goal. That's their second game in a row where they haven't scored a goal. As a matter of fact, in those two games that they lost, they had only one shot on target. Now, how do you have Kane, Sane, Musiala, Thomas Muller, a bunch of other players up front, and you get only one shot on target in those two games? I get it; they were playing on the road in both of those games, but Bayern Munich is a team that used to outscore their opponents by 3 or 4 goals on any given day without too much problems, and something is definitely rotten with this team. Bochum, on the other side, has lost only one of their last 6 games. They have conceded at least a goal in each of their last 3 games, in 4 of their last 5. And despite Bayern Munich being in such a slump, in such a bad form, I mean, they have to step it up, don't they? I would hope so. And I will take Bayern to win it over 2.5 goals. Minus 143. It's not a great price. It's not a bad price. Might be perfect to put it in a double with something else just to get some more value out of this one. But I don't know. Can we see Bayern losing 3 games in a row? Can we see them dropping all points 3 games in a row? I don't know. I'm just skeptical a bit, and it might come around to bite me in the ass. But I will take Bayern to win it over 2.5 goals at minus 143. Off to the Italian Serie A, guys, where we have Lazio playing against Bologna. And we know that Lazio is flying pretty high right now by beating Bayern Munich 1-0, but that matchup is far from over. They still have to go to Munich in a couple of weeks and try to defend this 1-0 win, which is going to be hard thing to accomplish. While Bologna on the other side is on a three-game winning streak right now, and during that three-game winning streak, they scored 10 goals, conceded only two, kept a couple of clean sheets in their last two wins, and I think that Lazio might be on a spot of a disappointment here. Sure, they haven't lost to Bologna in their last 11 home games, and Bologna on the road is not that great with only one win, seven draws, and three losses. But they are a tough team to beat, and you know what? With Lazio playing earlier this week, they could be a bit tired. And potentially that is the chance for Bologna. And I'm going to side with Bologna in this one. I'm going to take Bologna on the double chance at minus 161. I honestly would not be surprised to see a nil-nil game. I think at the best 1-1, that's gonna be if we are lucky. But nil-nil game definitely is calling to me, and I might even put something on the correct result as far as this game goes. Frosinone is hosting Roma in another Serie A matchup, and you know what? Roma was losing. Actually, yeah, I think they were losing against Feyenoord 1-0. They were able to get back at it with a 1-1 draw. But before that, they lost to Inter 4-2, and this draw was kind of very important to them, and they are back on the positive track. And now they're facing Frosinone, who has won only one of their last six games, lost their last two, conceded a ton of goals, and Roma has beaten them every time in their last seven games. They played against Frosinone seven times, going back to 2008, and they have beaten them all seven times. When we look at the injury reports as well, Frosinone is missing 3, 6, 9, 10 players due to suspensions and injuries, while Roma is missing only Tammy Abraham, who's injured, and everybody else is ready to play. I know that they played a hard game earlier this week on Thursday, but this is a must-win game for them, and I'm gonna take Roma on the money line at minus 110. And the last game of the day, Serie A, is between Monza and Milan. Milan is flying pretty high right now. They have won their matchup in the Europa League against Rennes 3-0 at home. Before that, they beat Napoli, they beat Frosinone, they got a 2-2 draw against Bologna. While Monza on the other side is actually in a decent form. They are in that 11th place, very close to the top half of the table. But they haven't scored a goal in any of their last two games, and that was against Udinese and Verona. Now, they might have the defense good enough to maybe contain Milan to one or two scored goals, but they don't have the offense right now to compete with Milan, who's basically firing on all cylinders. They have scored at least a goal in each of their last 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games, 17, even more than that. Milan is scoring goals consistently right now. They are creating a ton of chances, and of the seven games they played against Monza, they have beaten them seven times. So at this price, we have to take Milan on the money line at minus 122. In the French League One, guys, we are going to kick it off with Monaco versus Toulouse. And Toulouse played in Europe as well this past week. Let me just look it up real quick who they played against. I think they lost. Yeah, they lost to Benfica 2-1. They scored a goal and they have been scoring goals consistently. And luckily for them, Monaco has been conceding goals consistently. They really can keep a clean sheet. And as a matter of fact, they are missing a few players who would be in the starting lineup if they were healthy for Monaco. So I see this game potentially as a chance to lose to get to the scoreboard, keep their goal scoring form alive. And with that in mind, both teams to score in over 2.5 at even money. That sounds like a steal to me, and I will take it. Rennes is coming off of a loss against Milan in the Europa League 3-0, but before that they were on a huge winning streak, and they are actually on a three-game winning streak when playing at home. As far as Clermont goes, they're one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league. They're not scoring a lot. They've scored 9 goals in 10 games on the road, which is actually more than they have scored at home this season. And because of the fact that Rennes is coming off of a loss, that they played a hard game just a few days ago, I think that Clermont will get on the scoreboard in this game. I don't think they can get a point or a win out of it, to be honest, but that gives us the opportunity to go a little bit braver in this game. And with that in mind, I'm going to take Rennes to win and both teams to score at plus 210. Reims and Lens is another matchup in the French League One, and you know what? Reims is in a bit of a slump right now, without a win in their last four games. They haven't scored a goal in their last games against Lorient. But when playing at home, Reims is actually a very decent team with 12 scored goals, only 12 conceded goals in, 10, in those 10 home games, 5 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. While Lens on the other side of the road is not scoring a lot, but is not conceding a lot as well. Now, Lens did get a 0-0 draw against Freiburg in the Europa League earlier this week, and they're playing the second leg of that matchup next week already. And that makes me think that they are already thinking about that game. I think that was more important to them than this one is. Uh, and for that reason, I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 139 in this one. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for either side, but seeing how bad Reim is defensively right now, I don't think they can keep a clean sheet, but they can definitely score a goal against the tired Lens team. So, Reim versus Lens, both teams to score. And the last pick before we move on to the parlay of the day is between Brest and Marseille. And if Brest was in a better form, they would be heavy favorites here. But they are now plus 205 underdogs, and that is not a good thing. They haven't beaten anyone in their last 6 games. They are struggling a lot. And Brest on the other side is actually in the top five right now. They have been scoring goals consistently. They are having problems keeping a clean sheet, which is nothing surprising. But we'll see how much Marseille can do in this game. They are coming off of a 2-2 draw against Shakhtar, even though they were leading twice in that game. They're playing the second leg next week as well, and getting a positive result out of this game is going to be very important for Marseille. I'm not sure they can do it, to be honest, but I could see them scoring a goal. So I'm going to take both teams to score once again, and that is at minus 128. And now we are on to the parlay of the day, guys. Another five-legger. Manchester United team total over 1.5 goals. Fiorentina team total over 0.5 goals or Fiorentina to score. Milan over 3.5 shots on target. Bayern Munich on the money line. Which one could come and bite us back in the ass? I'm hoping not. And the last and the fifth pick, Monaco versus Toulouse over 1.5 goals in that game. Five leg parlay pays out at plus 353. Like I said, Manchester United team total over 1.5 goals. Fiorentina team total over 0.5 goals. Milan over 3.5 shots on target against Monza. Bayern Munich on the money line against Bochum. And Monaco Toulouse over 1.5 goals. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were your free picks for Sunday. I hope you have a great day, guys. Good luck with all of your bets. And of course, stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.